What are you doing to boost your mental health this month? Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to Fearless Fridays. Today is Friday, May 7th. This is episode 87 of Fearless Fridays. And as always, I welcome you to the show, whether it's your first time watching or you're a return watcher. Welcome, 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 welcome back. Thank you for joining me. So, as you may know or may not know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And that's what I want to spend some time talking about today, mental health and mental health awareness. Now, I have to admit, I have not always been in the space of understanding fully what that means. When I heard that phrase, mental health, that was not something that I was fully understanding what it meant. And, growing up, mental health, psychological health, all of these things, these were not things that were talked about often. People didn't talk about mental health. People didn't talk about therapy. And when they did speak about those things, it was always in kind of a negative way, like, oh, that person went crazy or that person needs therapy. There must be something wrong with their brain. And so I'm thankful that in recent years, you know, work around mental health and knowledge around mental health and awareness around mental health has become much more popular. It's become very, very trendy to talk about mental health and to go to therapy or counseling or have a life coach or things of that nature. And although things that are trendy aren't always great, sometimes it's overkill. I think that being aware of mental health and what needs to happen in order to take care of your mind's health, I think it's a great thing that people are becoming more and more aware of it, that kind of stigma around mental health is falling away and people are becoming aware that just like you watch what you eat, just like you watch what you put inside your body, just like you go to the gym and work out to make sure that you're strong and fit and healthy, you need to do the same thing for your mind. Your mind needs to be healthy just like your body needs to be healthy and fit and strong. And so I want to ask, what are some ways, what are some things that you're doing to boost your mental health this month, as we are in Mental Health Awareness Month? And I kind of want to give you some things that you can do. It could be anything from, like I said before, working out. For me, I know that working out and being active really, really helps to clear my brain. It helps me to think. It really helps me to process. I work out every morning like clockwork. If I don't get my workout in, it's probably not going to be a great day for me. It's not going to be a day that's going to be great. And when I know that there's going to be a day that maybe I'm not going to have time to work out just because my day is hectic, I prepare myself mentally in advance for, okay, today's a day that you're not going to be able to get a full workout in, but I have to do something physically. I have to move my body in some way physically in order to prepare my mind and prepare myself completely and fully for the day. So you may struggle to work out. Maybe that's not your thing. But if you're struggling mentally in any way, you might want to try finding some sort of exercise, some sort of workout, some sort of physical activity, because it really, really helps to boost your mental health. It really helps to boost your psychological health. Also, think about conversations that you don't want to have. Think about conversations that you need to have. Think about conversations and subjects and topics that weigh heavy on your mind. And although those conversations may be difficult to have, you have to recognize that when something is weighing heavy on your mind, that affects you completely. That affects the way you think, that affects your emotions, that affects the way your body feels. A lot of times we hold emotion in certain parts of our body. And so when you don't take the time to kind of clear the weight from your mind, that weight is not just on your mind, but it's on your emotions, it's on your body, it's on your entire being. That weight is on your entire being. So I would say maybe have some conversations that you need to have that might be difficult to have. I feel like challenging ourselves in that way to have hard conversations is something that helps to boost us psychologically and mentally, because then we realize, oh, I didn't want to have that conversation. I knew it was going to be hard, but I'm proud of myself that I did it. I'm proud of myself that I said what needed to be said, that I kind of confronted whatever this issue is. So it boosts you in that way. One, it gets the weight off of your brain in regards to whatever that topic is or whatever that issue is. But at the same time, it reminds you that, yes, I am capable of having difficult conversations. I am capable of kind of keeping my emotions in check so that I can have a difficult conversation that I need to have. I've also found that it is beneficial, and this is something that this is just so good. Because I think a lot of us as adults, we recognize that there are things that we learned or things that were taught to us that don't necessarily align with who we are or what we want or what we believe. And so recognizing maybe toxic behaviors or toxic belief patterns or toxic ways of thinking or toxic ways of talking to ourselves, that's a game changer. And that can be difficult because when you want to release an old pattern or an old way of thinking or believing or behaving, and it's something that you were kind of reared with, it was something that you were brought up with, in a way, you feel like you're abandoning or turning your back on your upbringing or turning your back or abandoning the people who brought you up, the people who were in your life as a child. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing when you get to adulthood and when you're moving through life and growing through life and recognizing that, hey, there's a reason that I do this thing and this thing isn't helping me. What's the reason? Oh, it came from something in childhood. Okay, so let me dismantle this toxic or negative or unhealthy way of thinking, being, or doing so that I can move forward without the weight of, there goes that mental weight again, but without the weight of wondering why I'm doing this or recognizing that this way of thinking, being, or doing isn't right for me. So releasing old habits, releasing toxic thought patterns, releasing toxic patterns of speaking to ourselves, releasing old habits, old beliefs, old things that no longer kind of work with the way we believe now. And also, it might not necessarily be releasing those things. It could be just unpacking those things, digging them up, recognizing where they came from. Where did that belief system come from? Where did that thought pattern come from? Where did that speaking pattern come from? Where did that behavior pattern come from? Where did it come from? Is it benefiting me? Do I still believe it? Do I still want to say that? Do I still want to speak that over my life? Do I still want to walk around with that thought or belief or behavior in my space, in my body, in my mind, in my heart? And sometimes you discover that, yes, I still want to hold on to the belief or hold on to the thought or hold on to the behavior, but the motivation behind it needs to change. The motivation behind the behavior needs to change. The motivation behind the thought or the motivation behind the words that you're saying needs to change. And that's a big thing too. Recognizing that the act or the thought or the speech is correct, but the motivation behind it or the origin of it is problematic. That's a powerful, powerful thing. So be willing to do that. Be willing to look into old things, patterns, behaviors, thoughts, words that are kind of automatic at this point, and ask yourself, hey, do I still believe this? Do I still want to behave this way? Do I still want to think this way? Do I still want to speak to myself in this way? And if the answer is no, then you can release it. But if the answer is yes, still dig a little deeper and find out what the motivation is. Because the behavior or the action might be correct for you, but the motivation behind it might be toxic or incorrect. And if the motivation is toxic or incorrect, then the behavior is probably not going to be beneficial to you, especially mentally. Because at some point, you're going to resent what you're doing, even though you think it's the right thing to do. if your motivation is incorrect or toxic, you're going to start to resent that behavior because it's not coming from a pure place. So I would say definitely dig into old beliefs, old patterns, old behaviors, old ways of thinking, old ways of speaking to yourself and others, and dig into those things and find out if they're beneficial to you. Find out if you still want to keep those things as part of your life. Find out. And find out what the motivation is. Find out what the ground level, surface level motivation is. Find out what the general idea was that behavior or that thought or that action is built off of. That's a good one. I think that was pretty good. So those are some ways that you can care for your mental health this month and going forward. And I really, really encourage anyone out there who's having a difficult time. Listen, this past year and a half, people are saying it all the time, but it is a fact that this past year and a half has thrown some craziness our way. And it is so vitally important to make sure that you are cleaning out the mental clutter. It is so vitally important to make sure that you are being mindful of what you allow in your mind. Be mindful of what you're allowing in your mind. If the news is toxic to you and damaging to you mentally and emotionally, turn it off. If there is anything in your space that is toxic or damaging to you mentally or emotionally, find a way to clear that thing, that person, that situation out of your space. It is so vitally important that you maintain your sanity, your peace, and it is up to each of us individually to maintain our personal sanity and our personal peace so that when we go out into the world, we bring sanity and we bring peace. So I encourage everyone, if you are having a difficult time mentally, if you have thoughts, if you're stuck in thought patterns, if you're stuck in life and you feel like mentally you just can't get past a certain point, I encourage you, seek a therapist, seek a counselor, seek a life coach, whatever you need to do to make sure that you are mentally healthy. Whether that's work out, whether that's pray, whether that's listen to music that boosts you, hanging out with people that boost you, doing things that fill your cup rather than just empty your cup all the time. Do those things. Do those things. And as you know, I am a certified master life coach. So if you are in need of a life coach, please reach out. Please reach out, and it would be my pleasure to walk you through whatever issue that you feel you need coaching on. But yeah, man, Mental Health Awareness Month. Be aware, be mindful. The stigma is gone. Just because you go to a therapist does not mean you're crazy. Quite frankly, I think everybody should go to a therapist at least once in their life, because there are a lot of things that happen to us, and it doesn't necessarily mean something crazy and traumatic has happened to you. But there are a lot of things that happen to us personally. There are a lot of things that happen to family members and friends. There are a lot of things happening in the world that we are seeing constantly. And it is important to be able to clear the mental mess out of your mind. And there is no shame in needing help with that. There is absolutely no shame in needing help with that. Listen, you can pray. I believe in prayer. I believe in Jesus. And I believe in coaching and therapy and counseling and all of those things. The same way you would go to a doctor to get a physical, the same way if you had a heart issue, you would go to a cardiologist. If you had a bone issue, you would go to I don't know what a bone doctor is called, but you would go to a bone doctor. You know what I'm saying? If you were injured and it affected you in some kind of way physically, you would go to a physical therapist. The same way you do that for your physical body. The same way you go to a nutritionist to help you get your diet together so you make sure that you're eating well. The same way you do all those things, you can do that for your mind. A therapist, a counselor, a life coach, somebody to help you get unstuck. So that's what I want to say and share with you guys. Today, Mental Health Awareness Month. Be aware of your mental health. Be mindful of your mental health. Be mindful of the things that you are doing that boost your mental health. Also, be mindful of the things that you're doing that cause your mental health to diminish. As always, the euphoria of fearlessness trumps the comfort of staying safe. If you're in need of a life coach, shoot me a message, a DM on Instagram, comment on YouTube, go to my website, tryphenawade.com. If you're in need of a life coach, I am here and I will happily walk you through whatever you need coaching on. So yeah, thanks for joining me so much, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.